Welcome to Duo Chat with Brittany
and Cynthia, where we talk about drama shows
like Dawson's Creek, One Tree Hill, and more.
Hi everyone, I am Brittany.
And I'm Cynthia.
And today we're talking about Season 5, Episode 14, title What Do You Go Home To? Air date April 21st, 2008, and the synopsis is
The marriage counselor's advice to reconnect with personal aspirations is followed to the letter. Millie is happy to re-enter the music field. Kane is to sign her up for a record. Millie also can't find an appropriate nanny, apart from Deb. Nathan's comeback in basketball is harder to get going as a team. That's how they said this. Stupid star Q is rude and hostile. Oh, Jamie gets along with Dan. Nathan and Lucas warn him to keep his distance, and Brooke is ecstatic to be doing a baby. So we start off with Lucas waking up and narrating that Lindsay is the first thing he thinks about every day.
Yeah, and Peyton's is Lucas, Brooke is herself. Mouth is Millie.
And Jamie's this Chester.
Yeah. But skills.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
His was just, oh my god.
Like,
yeah. Here's the thing. Like, everyone's life is kind of coming together, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Skills is still in like college day. He's not in, day and age reality, like, like work and like he just is just floating.
Right.
Like everybody else is sort of putting their life back together after college. Not him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because isn't coaching like the only job he has, and that's like not there until the afternoon probably, so he can sleep in like that, right?
Yeah, he can sleep in, and then he can stay up all night because once he goes to practice at 3:30, and it gets out at what, maybe 5 or something, and then he's got the rest of the day. Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only job that he has. So I don't know what he did before because they had this apartment. So what did he do before? Because he got the job in like November, December, remember, like when basketball started. So what was he doing to make a living before that?
I don't know.
Because they never really said.
Oh, I know in the season 4 episode with the class, the one, whatever class it was, current events or something, I don't remember what it was, but it was like that whole, like, will he go to college or will he work at Zach's factory? So maybe he went to work in the factory part-time until he got like a job that he wanted to do more,
Because it's weird because he never talked about it, remember? And then he was hanging out with Jamie all day with Lucas, and it was like, do you not have a job? I mean, because if you had a day job, you wouldn't be watching Jamie, and you wouldn't be getting drunk every night because you'd have to go to work at 7, 8 in the morning, like everybody else does. I mean, remember when Mouth would be late and Skills would just still be getting up, and it's like, he wasn't like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be late for my job. And even before that, like when it started and Mouth was trying to get a job, all he ever said was like, y'all owe me rent. And it's like, huh? Like, what is it that you do?
Right.
So, yeah, I don't know. It's, I mean, I'm glad now he has a job, but I still don't think that would like cover being a high school assistant coach, basketball coach.
Yeah.
I don't know that it would like cover, your whole living expenses for the year. I'm just saying, at least Lucas, who's the head coach, at least he has another job. Like, oh, I don't know, he sold some books, so he got some money. But yeah, Skills on the other hand, I don't know.
Right. And then Haley
also when Mouth wakes up and he talks about like, oh yeah, I got fired, and I'm like, what do you mean? Like, she fired you, but I thought that they were still keeping him. So when he brought up being fired, I was like, what?
I think he was like hypothetical if he was going to be keep running late, like, this morning. And that's what he meant. Like, he'll be fired again.
Oh, because I'm like, That's weird.
Yeah.
And then yes, I love that Haley's is obviously Jamie because it should be.
Mm-hmm.
And then Nathan's is Jamie, and then it's Haley.
Mm-hmm. And then they have that cute moment when they're gonna kiss, and then Jamie gets in the way because he's in the middle.
And his little feet, it was so cute.
Mm-hmm. And then elsewhere, Dan wakes up with the sound of the gunshot going off from when he killed Keith in his head. So he's thinking of Keith.
Well, that's the thing is like ever since the shooting, it's always been Keith.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan goes into the kitchen where Jamie and Haley are, and Nathan's flirting with Haley and kisses her. And then he asks her, what she's gonna do today, but Jamie answers and says he's just mostly playing. So Haley says she's gonna finish grading some papers and go see Peyton. And then they both have interviews for the NANNIES. And Jamie's hating them when they spell.
Yeah, it was so funny. He goes, I just think it's DUM. And then Nathan's like, put a B at the end of there. You will be too.
Mm-hmm.
It was funny.
Yeah. And then Haley gives permission, for Jamie to go to practice with Nathan.
Well, what else would he do? Because obviously, if she's grading papers, that means she's working right now.
Mm-hmm.
So after Jamie gets out, what would she like? She's still at work. So, because everybody else has been picking Jamie up. Like
Mm-hmm.
last episode, it was Brooke. So I'm just like, okay, so then who's picking him up from school because she's at work? So you've had this boundary, like I want to say it broke, but like trying to like watch him every minute of the day. It's like you haven't been doing that because you went to work, he went to school, and then somebody else picked him up. So I'm like, okay, like you haven't been with him 24/7. Like she might have been thinking, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So like, why wouldn't he go to practice? And he's going to practice with his father.
Mm-hmm.
That was the other thing. It wasn't like Skills or Lucas were like, oh, can we take him? It was Nathan, his father. Like he should be able to take his son. I like without really asking because that's a son.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really feel like, especially if you're married, I don't really feel like you should have to ask your spouse, can I take my son?
Right.
Like
Mm-hmm.
if as a mom, if you go and take your kid somewhere, as a dad, are you getting permission from the father to take your child? No. So why would he have to ask for your permission?
Yeah, it just meant like having Jamie not so close to her like usual, even though he was already out with Brooke. So I don't know why this is another step because she should feel more, assured that he's safe with Nathan than Brooke. But yeah.
That's what I mean with his father.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I said it's not
Yeah.
like it was Lucas or Skills. It was Nathan. Come on now. That's the father.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if anyone you would feel most comfortable with having your child, it would be Nathan,
Mm-hmm.
the father.
Yeah.
So yeah, that threw me off because I'm like, what? Plus last episode again, Brooke had him. So what?
Yeah, and it seemed like all night, or at least until late at night. Yeah.
Oh no.
And then
Yeah, he did spend the night, remember? Because Brooke said, or Haley said, not sleeping, and so I do think she's had him for the night.
mm,
Which
okay,
definitely doesn't make any sense then why Nathan can't take him to practice.
mm-hmm.
Where there's going to be other guys that if something happened, they would protect Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Yeah.
like there's other people to like make sure he's okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then Jamie's being cute again with telling Haley that he LOVs her.
It was so cute. I know. I love their little bond.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan was funny too because he tells Haley that Jamie has her brains because he just figured out she was spelling nannies as a joke.
Yeah, it was funny.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley mentions that he was doing well with his book reports. And Nathan says if only he can figure out his jump shot because he's not doing well in that. And then Lucas walks into his office where Skills is. And so the desk looks good on him because he was taking over when he was gone.
Yeah, for the last month.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. Like seriously, Lucas.
Mm-hmm.
So apparently in this whole month that he's been out, they They lost a whole bunch of games. They lost 8 games, but won 4. But Lucas was there for the one.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, that's how, like, just when you see the score or, how many games they've lost, you're like, wow, he was gone that long.
Mm-hmm.
Like it puts into perspective
Yeah.
of like how many games they play, and especially in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know basketball, they do play more than football, so.
Yeah, and Skill says he's taking the blame for it, but Q sucks and it's all his fault. Because he hasn't gotten better since Lucas left.
Okay, but my point is the coach is the one that puts the players in.
Mm-hmm.
So as a coach, Skills, if you feel that one of your players is not doing their best and you feel that they, quote, suck, maybe you shouldn't put them in.
Right.
Remember when Whitey would pull Nathan all the time because of his attitude or whatever?
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you do that with Q? Like, so that's what I don't understand is like, if you know he's not doing well, pull him
Mm-hmm.
so that maybe you can try to win a game if you feel that you're losing because of him. That's not even, I'm not like, I don't know much about like basketball and stuff, but like, that's common sense to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like you don't have to know much about basketball to take the player out and see if you win a game.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm, for Skills, like you're the assistant coach and then you were acting as head coach. How do you not understand this? Like, pull him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, wouldn't you? Like,
Well, what I don't understand is how they saw Q at the cast on one day and then off the next and his hand still messed up.
well, remember he took it off.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying they didn't question that it was off, after a short amount of time.
Well, maybe Q just said that it was.
Obviously, it didn't heal right.
Oh, maybe Q just said that he only needed it on for a day or 2. Remember, he wasn't.
I wouldn't buy that.
Yeah, no, but they weren't in there when the doctor was in there.
Mm-hmm.
So when the doctor said you can't play, he decided he's going to play like Nathan. So,
Mm-hmm.
but remember, he does tell Q, or he does tell Skills because Skills knows this and has to then tell Lucas what's going on. So Skills does know. And Lucas went AWOL, so he don't know a dang thing what's going on with his team or Q.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess I could see why. Because didn't Q do that like at that last game? He took it off.
Or something like that, yeah.
So maybe that's why they didn't know.
I think it was after something, after the game or the end of the day, because it was dark at night. But
Yeah. So, and I think that was like the last game. So they didn't, it didn't register in his head, Lucas.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Skills does know because he's keeping the secret,
Mm-hmm.
which is bad coaching. And again, if you know this information about your player, like about his hand, why would you put him in? Like Skills is not, I'm sorry, but Skills to me is not being a good coach at all.
Mm-hmm.
There's common sense. If the player, again, isn't doing well, pull him. Also, if his hand is broke or whatever, and you know this information, why would you put him in?
Yeah, and someone should tell Q that if he keeps going the way he's going, then his hand's just gonna be messed up forever if he doesn't like let it rest and stuff. And
No, someone should tell Skills how to coach because he's not doing a very good coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And why didn't Lucas say any of this? Why didn't Lucas say like, why is he still playing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would. I'd be like, what? You mean to tell
Mm-hmm.
me you put him in when he's doing terrible?
Mm-hmm.
Like, remember how Lucas was like, I don't want him on my team. Remember
Mm-hmm.
at the beginning? So, given how Lucas doesn't really want him on the team, wouldn't you pull him to see how well your team can do without him?
Mm-hmm.
That's common sense. And then obviously if your team then wins, you're like, well, we don't need him.
Right.
Duh. Sorry, it's common sense to me.
Mm-hmm. And then Nathan and Jamie get there, and they're greeting Lucas after not seeing him for a while. and Jamie thinks that Lucas saw pirates when he was on the boat. And Lucas just tells Nathan that he's working on being good again. And then Mouth opens a letter from the station outside the state. And then we segue to Brooke saying, oh my God, also because she forgot the Macy presentation. But luckily, Millie remembered and has everything, put together for her. And then, Brooke's really proud of Millie for stepping up and mentions about, promoting her and, raising everything. And Millie's thrilled, asking what her title will be. But Brooke says they'll figure that out later. They just have to get her back to New York first. And
that was sad because
yep.
Millie was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get a raise and everything," and then she says, "You got to go to New York," and it's like,
yep, and move away from Mouth.
Well, and it wasn't like you're going to New York for a week or something. That's permanent. Also, you have to think too, honestly, what would Brooke do if she really did send her to New York? Like, Brooke needs somebody as her assistant, like Millie, who goes over and beyond. I mean, if she went to New York, Brooke would be like scattering, like she would not be this calm, cool, and collected. So like, why would you want to send the person that's helping you the most to New York?
Yeah.
Wouldn't you just hire someone in New York and give Millie a raise because she goes over and beyond?
Or I'm surprised that Brooke didn't mention this to Millie. Like, what would she think about going back to New York instead of, oh, you're going back to New York, because she knows that she's seeing Mouth,
But I'm just saying, if you take Millie out, Brooke is going to scramble.
Yeah, it would be more smart if Brooke at least would hire somebody first and then have them train under Millie, before she leaves to New York at least. So.
But also, not everyone goes over and beyond. I think Millie did because she felt like she was friends with Brooke. And so, like, as your friend, you would go over and beyond, as she did here, where a regular assistant would be like, no. You know what I mean? Like, they might know you might have confrontations, like, they might not feel like that's their job. And like, Millie kind of gets in Brooke's business and it helps her. Where like maybe somebody else wouldn't. So that's what I'm saying is keep Millie because she's what keeps you grounded. Give her a raise because she deserves it, but hire someone in New York if that's what you want. I mean, I don't know. That's what I would do. Like, if someone's keeping me sane here, I'd keep them here. I wouldn't send them off. Yeah.
But then luckily for Millie, Brooke gets that call saying she's going to have a baby. So she can stay right there in Tree Hill.
See, again, you go to New York and then, oh no, I need you here. It's like, okay, so what if she did pack all her stuff up, move, and then the next day you're like, I need you to come back. It's like, I can't, Brooke, make up your mind. I can't keep doing this back and forth thing.
Right.
That's what's sad. It's like, she's like, no, you're going to New York. And then now you're staying here. It's like, oh, what is it? That's what I would say.
Yeah. So, Brooke must have impressed the woman at the interview because that was the person that called her.
Why? This is what I don't understand. She said, you're never going to, we're never going to give you a baby. And then next episode, boom, we're giving you a baby to foster while she's having surgery. Wait a minute. But here's my thing. They said, or the lady said, not the lady said that she wasn't what's the word?
Recommending?
Like ready or whatever to be a mom. But yet you're going to give her a sick baby?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like if you don't even feel that she should have a baby, you're going to give her a sick baby?
Yeah, they missed the part where they changed their mind, kind of.
Like, but does that make any sense to you?
No.
I don't feel you should have a baby, basically ever. But let's give you a sick baby.
The only thing that would make sense is if Victoria contacted them again and basically took everything she said back or something like that.
But then wouldn't she be recommended for adoption?
Maybe, but maybe they still took everything else into consideration and just did this program with her instead.
Or is this her trial? Like, let's
Mhm.
see if you can handle a sick baby before you give you a healthy baby.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't make any sense. Like,
Mhm.
because this baby is probably going to need extra monitoring
Mm-hmm.
that Brooke honestly does not have time for
Mm-hmm.
versus a regular baby. I'm just saying. And
Mm-hmm.
plus, this baby is pulled away from her family and everything. Like, that's even harder for the baby
Mm-hmm.
because some babies, they don't go to sleep without their parent, because that's their
Mm-hmm.
safe place. I mean, and you're going to just give Brooke the baby? Somebody who's never really been around babies?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying. Like, I don't really see how that's a good thing,
Right.
but okay.
Yeah, so she's struggling to put her stuff into her bag and just panicking, full on panicking. And Millie helps her calm down by saying she doesn't even need that. So she just asks her to help, Brooke with. And she says she doesn't know, she's never had a baby. She doesn't even know what they need. And she's still trying to get that thing in her bag. I don't know if that was like a binder or a laptop, whatever, but Millie just tells her once again she doesn't need it, so she can calm down. And then Brooke asks where her keys are, and Millie says they're in her hand, so she's doing great at this so far.
Yeah, and she goes, but you shouldn't be driving. And it was just so cute because she's like,
Mm-hmm.
they're giving me a baby. And like, but again, and like hugs Millie. But I'm like, but Brooke, you're not keeping her.
Mm-hmm.
You're only taking care of her for a few weeks, but you got to give her back.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I don't really think that's, you're not keeping her.
Mm-hmm.
I will say for Brooke, that's going to be the hardest thing though, because Brooke is the person that would get attached.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like anyone else on the cast would probably be able to give up the baby easier,
Mm-hmm.
but not Brooke.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it. Do you think that she could, like, if you didn't watch what further, because obviously but if you didn't watch further, would you really think that Brooke could just give up the baby that easy?
Right now, yeah.
I couldn't either, especially because she wants one so bad, and that's why she came home. I don't think she could just give the baby up.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't and I think the other problem is in her head, she's telling herself, I'm getting a baby. I'm getting a baby. I get to be a mom. And it's like,
Right.
but you're not. So
Yeah.
also what's ruining her is her thinking that she's
Mm-hmm.
keeping the baby when she's not. What she
Mm-hmm.
needs to do is tell herself, I'm going to get a baby for a couple weeks. I got to
Mm-hmm.
give it up. That way you program your head, but she's not doing that at all.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she should see it as the step in the right direction to adoption, not the actual adoption, yeah. And then in the gym, Jamie says that there's something missing on the wall. There used to be another. And,
Yeah,
accidentally,
Nathan's
yeah.
like, that was your grandfather's jersey. And he goes,
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa Dan. And then he said, why did they take down? Nathan said because he did bad things. And oh my God, Jamie, though, he goes, you do bad things sometimes, Daddy, and yours is still up there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, Jamie, no.
Yeah.
And he goes, not that bad.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, oh, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
Because obviously Nathan never killed somebody.
Right.
Ah,
They're close to Dante, though.
yeah. But did you see Nathan's face?
Mm-hmm.
He was like, really?
Yeah. And then that's when Q walks in, and him and Jamie do like their cute little greeting routine. So this is like the part of their friendship here.
Yeah, but then Nathan tries it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but when Nathan tries it, like it's so cute having, Q and Jamie. And then Nathan tries it. All I can do every time I see it is just start laughing because I'm like, and Nathan has just like aged. Like he's no longer a cool 22-year-old. It's just so funny. Because like they both like look at him. It's like, no.
Right. And then Lucas walks in, Q says hi, he hasn't seen him for a while.
Yeah, and Lucas wants a handshake, and he goes, no, like, we don't do that. And Lucas like, I do, handshake.
Yeah.
And so he does, and that's when it's like, yeah, that's Brooke.
And Q looks at Skills too, knowing that he told Lucas about his hand. So I'm
Yeah.
kind of happy.
And then did you see Skills like looks away from him? I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
like, oh no, like you told him. He knows that you told him. So like be like, yeah, I told him.
Yeah.
I had to.
Mm-hmm. And then Haley goes to see Payne at the label. And Payne shows all, the demos she has, or shows Haley all the demos she has, so she has plenty of people to consider signing. And, Mia's doing well as well.
Yeah, she sold, what was it, 40,000 copies?
Mm-hmm.
Is that a lot for somebody that is a new artist?
I don't know. It's really hard. I don't know that much about numbers. And then this was like 20 years ago almost. So I don't know. I think as a starter, it's something at least in a little, small town, new label. I would think so. Yeah.
So, Peyton was like, she needs another one, and Haley's like, I have somebody. And
Mm-hmm.
she was like, oh, let me see the tape. And of course it's Haley's. And she's like, and then it was funny. She pushes all the other ones off the side. But like, my thing is, why couldn't she have Haley and somebody else?
I guess she wants to work with one person at a time. Yeah, I don't know.
But how is that building your label?
It's not, but I guess for the show, just be too many characters at once that she's interacting with. Yeah.
Just think about it. If you have Haley, but remember she works all day, so you would only be able to work with her in the evening. But if you had somebody else, you could work with them the rest of the day.
Mm-hmm.
So, and also be helping your label, because then you could put this person on tour. You could put Haley doing this. It's like Mia doing this. It's like, wow, that's more people. And then more people would want to join your label. So I'm like, what? Like, why would you just erase the rest of them?
Right.
Also, what you want to keep some of their tapes so that you can be like, okay, after I do Haley's, I can do this one.
Yeah, I'm sure she went back and looked at them later. Yeah, just in that moment, just became Haley as the main focus.
But again, she should probably have more than one that she's working with. I'm just saying, as like most labels do.
Mm-hmm. And then back with Q, he's getting his hand checked out, and he just explains that the doctor said it'd be swollen, from time to time, which still isn't good. And why they're making a big deal out of it. And Lucas says because they're 4 and 8, and Q says maybe it's because of the coaching. So now he's blaming Skills.
Well, Skills should have pulled them.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, maybe they wouldn't be 4 and 8.
Mm-hmm. Nathan, sticks up for Skills and tells Q easy. And
yeah, but then I thought it was funny because Q goes, one of them disappeared for a month, which is Lucas. The other one can't be trusted.
Mm-hmm.
It was hilarious.
Yeah. And then Lucas gives him a test to hold, the 2 basketballs for 30 seconds to see if he can actually do it without the pain being too much. So of course Q thinks it is no big deal and does it. And Lucas has said, they're he's one of the best shooters when he's healthy. And then he's telling Jamie like he's a great shooter as well. Him and Clinton are the best shooters they have when he's healthy, he says again. And then they should get a second opinion on his hand, and this time they'll go with him so they can hear what's going on too.
Which they should have done from the start.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know how long it was been, but Q just drops the balls and throws one against the bleachers from being mad. And like he startled Jamie, but didn't it kind of look like he wanted to laugh?
No.
Oh, I know. To me it was, but yeah. But Mouth goes to see Millie then, who tells him she might be getting a promotion and staying in Tree Hill at least. But then he tells her he might be getting a promotion and leaving Tree Hill.
Yeah, not good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so basically he was auditioning elsewhere out of the state, to just find a job anywhere. And he finally heard back from Omaha. And they're offering him a job, and it's really good. And Millie's like, the closest one to that from that location is, this one, Tree Hill. And Mouse said it's really good. He might have a chance there. But Millie's like, you did one picture here. And he says maybe, but they were just in a bind. He might get more, but who knows. because this would be a full-time position over there, air position too. So he'd be in front of the camera. And, Millie says that he should take it, if it gets him closer to his dream. Mel says, yeah, but she's part of his dream too. So I thought that was sweet. And, yeah, so he loves being with her and hoping they had a future together. And she doesn't say anything, so, he asks if it's too early to freak her out. And she says no. She just wants him to promise her that if he does take the job, that she can have his room because she likes to have a place that's not paid by the day.
So she's in a hotel.
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, hotel, motel, something. Yeah, this whole time. Yeah, that has to be so expensive. Like, no wonder why she probably couldn't afford that dress, during the opening of the store.
Mhm.
But now Payne is listening to Haley's demo, and Haley said it's rough, but she was thinking that when she starts going on, that Payne doesn't need to hear her sell because she loves and have been waiting for the opportunity to go out and buy the next record. So of course she wants to record it. And yeah, so and it's just good business for her because Haley already has that history kind of with her previous label, the same label that Chris was with.
But what I thought was weird was when she said you already had a record.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, are you on something? She never had a record.
Right. Yeah, I don't know.
Like they're boosting her up again as if she's remember she was offered it. That's what the guy told Nathan. She was offered it. They offered her a record deal and she turned it down to come home to Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the guy told Nathan.
Mm-hmm.
So remember, because he said she must really love you. So why is Peyton saying like you already had that? And it's like she was offered it.
Right.
Then when she made her master, it was just a song.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't an album. So I don't understand this at all.
I don't know. It sounded like it was some songs when they had to get it back from that gambling thing that Chris did. Like it sounded like really big for Haley if she lost it.
No, because remember, Nathan tells her, Chris played me your song. He didn't say he played me your album. He said he played me your song and it's really good. And then that's when me and you were like, wait a minute, they did all this for one song? Like they went to this extreme measures to get it back for one song?
Yeah, I don't know then. Because I know like today, sometimes they mention, when they say record, they mean one song now, this day and age. But back then, no, it was usually like a whole album. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, so Haley says yes to joining Payne's label. And, she says it's exactly what she needs. And Payne says, you never know where the next miracle is coming from. And then that's when Brooke calls Payne saying it's a miracle. So Peyton is like, did you bug my office or something? And Brooke explains she's getting a baby, and she explains everything. And but she says that they're giving her a purple monkey because she saw that stuffed animal in the store. So she says she'll tell them about it later. And, the girls are happy for her, of course, and they have big news. Haley's going to make an album with Peyton, but Brooke doesn't see that as a big deal as hers. So then
it's not really if she's already made an album.
Yeah.
According to them.
Mm-hmm.
Which I think Brooks is bigger.
Yeah. And then we go to the doctor's office where Lucas, Skills, Nathan, even Jamie are there with Q. And then, Lucas says it looks grim, but they'll have a cast off by playoffs. And Q says they're 4-8. He just needs to hang in there.
So he wants to. So it's funny because he wanted to talk to Coach Taylor.
Mm-hmm.
And but here's my thing: is like I don't understand because Q talks about how he needs this, he needed a scholarship and everything. But my thing is, what do you mean you need a Like, okay, here's my thing: if you need a scholarship, right? You would need to play your best. Like you would need to be the best in the state, kind of. And especially because you're at Tree Hill, you're at a small town, you would need to be out there where people would be like, oh my God, we got to watch him from that small town. Like we've talked about Nathan. He had to be the best in kind of the state. But so if Q wants a scholarship, he would need to be the best, and he's not doing his best. They're not going to look at a team. They're not going to look at you if your team is 4-8. First of all, they're not going to look at you if you're not playing your best and you have a hurt hand. They're not going to look at you, so they're not going to even look at you to offer you a scholarship. So when he's going off about I need to play because I need a scholarship. What scholarship? No one's going to look at you because you're going to be a mediocre basketball player. That's what they're going to think. They're not going to think that you should go to the NBA or college or anything because you're 4-8, and according to the skills, you suck because of your hand. Like no college, even a community college, no one is going to look and offer you a scholarship. Are you on something?
Yeah, I think in Q's mind, he sees the cast as like, holding him back. And if they see the cast and they'll know that he's hurt and can't really play. So he's thinking if he has it off, then they might think that he's good to go. So,
but like I said, if you are sucking, they're not going to look at you. And let's be honest, the only reason why Nathan got some of those people the scouts to look at him is because of Dan Scott. Dan called these people to come and look at Nathan. That's the only reason why Nathan got some of these offers to begin with, is because of Dan. And nobody has that power like Dan did. So no one is going to offer Q anything because he's, first of all, not right now with his injury. He's not even half as good as Nathan. So no one's going to look at him. I mean, nobody was offering Lucas scholarships, and Lucas was playing way better than this.
Yeah, Q just sees the cast
what?
the nail in the coffin to his basketball career already. So yeah.
Which skills would have said that? Of like, do you really think that they're going to scout? Like scouts are going to come see you if you're injured? They're not, because you're playing terrible. That's what skills should say. But again, he hasn't really been in the right mind of being a coach. So I don't know. Like, I'm not really too sure right now of skills. Because these things that he should be saying and doing as a coach, he's not. Like, what? But somebody should be saying that to him. And I don't understand Nathan, Lucas, skills. No one is telling him this stuff. It's true. It's again, common sense. I can't.
Yeah, so at least Skills did tell Lucas what's going on with his hand, so he's aware. But still, Q was so mad at Skills that he goes off on him, saying, he went all Uncle Tom on him.
But don't you think that Skills and Lucas would have figured it out eventually?
Yeah, I don't know.
If he didn't tell him, like, think about it. If he's dribbling and he's not really using that hand, they're gonna go, why? And then Lucas probably would have done the handshake to see.
Yeah, so Q tells Skills that he went Uncle Tom on him as soon as Massa Lucas got back. And, Skills says that when his wrist heals and everything's okay, he's going to let him take that back. Because you know what that word is, Massa?
No.
It's another word for master. That's basically what he called Lucas to Skills. So, yeah, that was really messed up for Q to say to him. And he could have easily said, you're done right there. You're off the team. He could have easily said that. And he could have got in big trouble for saying that to him. The Skills says for now, he should consider himself lucky, which he is. Because he never even tells Lucas. Or I think he tells him later, but yeah. Just then Nathan and Lucas are about to get off the elevator when Dan is there. And Jamie's also with them. So he tells, Dan hi. And Dan gets on the elevator with them.
Oh, and then it was funny because he says, you boys want to jump me again? Now's your chance.
Yeah.
And like, it was just so funny. But like, why would you say that like when Jamie's right there?
Right.
Like Jamie doesn't need to know that. And then it was funny because of course Dan's walking out of the hospital, which I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wanted to see the elevator ride. Because he walks out of the hospital and Nathan is, so that means Lucas had Jamie then, because Jamie wasn't with him. So Nathan walks out and he was like, stay away from us, stay away from Jamie. You know, I know you've been following him around. He said, I've seen you outside of his school. I thought nobody saw him. Because,
Yeah.
like, the day that he was there watching, it was Brooke picking him up.
Right, it must have been
So
a different time.
does, like, Nathan drive around and he sees him talking to him by the fence?
I don't know,
Right.
or maybe
I
Nathan picked him up and saw his car or something nearby.
So, yeah, then he was like, "You've, driven past the house." And, yeah, so he just told him to stop it. And then I was like, but I was like, "Okay, like, whatever, Nathan."
Mm-hmm.
Like, Jamie, you might wanna talk to your son because Jamie loves Grandpa Dan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Dan explains that he was just getting a physical after being in prison, even though he should have been having physicals in there. But yeah, so Nathan just tells him not to hope, for anything. And then back inside the hospital, Jamie tells Lucas he doesn't understand about, Grandpa Dan because he seems nice. Why is everyone mad at him? And then Lucas brings up Chester, like what if he hurt Chester and took him away so he could never see him again? How would he feel? And Jamie says he would probably be mad and sad too. But Lucas explains to Jamie that's how they feel.
Mhm.
So that was a good way to put it for him to understand because nobody was really giving him an answer before exactly, just vague
No,
answers.
all they ever said was he did something bad, and it was like
Mhm. Yeah.
and that's when Jamie was like, "But, like, you do bad stuff," and it's like,
Mm-hmm.
nobody explained to him what it was.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how bad it is compared to someone else doing something. So, I was happy that Lucas did it, even though Nathan should have done it right then and there.
Mm-hmm.
When he said, "You do bad things," he should have said, "Okay, I guess I gotta talk to my kid."
Mm-hmm.
But no, instead, Lucas has to because Nathan won't do it.
Right. And then apparently, Brooke's on the phone with Owen, who doesn't like the idea of her having a baby while they're not even really technically dating yet.
I know. And even if they were just I know they're just, like, off and on. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they're really dating in my mind, but, I was like, it's her first of all, she's not adopting this is the whole thing. She's not adopting a child, so I don't know why he's freaking out about
Mm-hmm.
her having a child when she's not having a child.
Mm-hmm.
She's having one for a few weeks, maybe a month
Yeah.
or 2. Like,
Mm-hmm.
the baby is gonna go back home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so then Haley and Peyton get there, wanting to find out more about the baby. And Brooke just mentions about Owen not being, open to her having a kid even for a temporary time. But he's gonna come over later so we can talk about it. But it doesn't matter because her and the baby are gonna be fine. So the girls want an explanation of everything. So Brooke explains that the agency has this program where babies from other countries who need surgeries or other medical treatment come over to the U.S. and the doctors donate their time to treat them, and then they go back home. And then they originally had a different family to host the baby, but they dropped out, so they called Brooke and just be with good trial run for her. And then Haley and Payne have a whole bunch of questions. So Brooke answers, the baby's a girl. She gets there tomorrow. Their parents won't be with her, and she doesn't even know what's wrong with the baby. They're just going to hand her over, and they go from there. So yeah, I would definitely feel nervous without knowing any information about the baby ahead of time.
I would need to know how to take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what does baby need?
Mm-hmm.
I would need information. Like,
Yeah.
because how, like, some babies, they can't do certain things, they can't eat. So, like, I need to know everything.
Yeah.
Is this baby allergic to anything?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Especially because, again, Brooke has not had a baby. Like, she doesn't know how to take care of a baby. And the only baby she was around was Jamie, but she was around with him, 2 weeks? And then she went to college or California, and then she came back and he was 4. It's like, and baby Jenny, but really Peyton was taking care of Jenny. So she never really had a baby to take care of.
Yeah, or a pet or something, yeah.
Which isn't her fault, but I feel like she should get more information. And I would need to probably talk to somebody for a couple hours of explain everything to me. I need every little detail so that I can make sure the baby is okay. Because again, the baby is on your watch. The doctor is going to be like, did you do this? Did you do this? Did the baby not have this? And you're going to go, huh? You don't want to look stupid when you have to give the baby to the surgeon.
Yeah, I would hope that just because we know Leah, the baby is pretty fine, pretty normal, And that's the only reason why they gave her to Brooke, because if it was any other case that was more serious, and I think they would at least put, some consideration into it and think if this, Brooke or anybody would be a good match for the baby. So, yeah.
I would hope so.
Mm-hmm. But, Brooke's just all about that purple monkey that she found because she used to have one just like it.
And I did think it was funny because Haley's like, well, did you get food? And she's like, no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because she's like, did you get anything else? And Brooke's like gesturing around the whole room because she has like a whole bunch of toys, but that's it.
She has toys, stuffed animals. It's
Mhm.
like, okay, but what about for the baby itself?
Necessities, yeah.
Yeah, like to keep the baby alive.
Mhm. Yeah, so Haley says that they can go to her house and go through some of Jamie's old things, which is nice of her.
Also, when she says, do you have food? Maybe the
Mhm.
baby is on a certain formula or like
Mhm.
you would need to know all of this.
Mhm. But it is good to be prepared too, just in case if she does eat normal food or formula. And then Mel's supposed to see Millie at the store. She's looking for places to live, and he says, she can live with him because he passed on the job, and he believes the station will give him another shot because he's good at what he does. And he says he doesn't know if he's doing the right thing, but when it's about them, he is sure. He doesn't want to leave her. And Millie just says that she can't move in with him. And Mel thinks it's too soon, but she'll save a fortune on rent, and they'll see each other every day. And she says she'd like to, but she can't. But she's glad he's staying though, and that's all she says about that.
Yeah, doesn't say anything more.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like when Peyton when she said I was there or I wasn't there, but then she was. It was like we had a whole episode of like wasn't she, like, that kind of thing of like it should have been in one scene.
Mm-hmm.
This should have been two of like just say it.
Right.
Like we didn't need a couple scenes of it.
Mm-hmm. And then we know Millie's real answer to that. But my first thought would be like, I wouldn't feel comfortable moving in with my boyfriend's friends, like that. That would be my concern. Like, I would feel odd, because it feel like more like me with the guys instead of me and my boyfriend kind of thing. Like, it doesn't feel like a step in the relationship necessarily because his friends are also there. You know what I mean?
Well, and also, let's be honest, the friends act more like children because they're playing video games and all this, and it's like that's not really what grown men are supposed to do.
I mean,
so
yeah, they do. They can, as long as it doesn't take up their whole lives. Yeah,
they can until they get a girlfriend, and then that's off the table. Because a lot of girlfriends don't really want their husband or boyfriend to be playing video games all day when they're supposed to be being with them and doing household chores.
Yeah, like I said, as long as it doesn't take off, their whole lives, and they should be fine.
Yeah, but they do.
Mm-hmm.
In this apartment, that's what I mean. Is like they come home from work and they're just, playing, and it's like, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's why they're in an apartment too, is because if they were in a house, they'd have to actually take care of it.
Mm-hmm.
Where in an apartment, they can just play video games all day because they don't have to worry about any maintenance because they can just call somebody for that.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Haley gives Brooke Jamie's book.
Also, where would she be staying? Like, so she has to share a room with Mouth, and that's just weird because. Okay, like where are the other two bedrooms? Like, I know Skills has one, Mouth has one.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought they were like through the kitchen in the back when you first walk in to the right. I don't know. I don't even know what that part of the apartment really looks like because we go the other way, toward his room. But
isn't it weird to have a apartment that has a 4-bedroom apartment?
Yeah, I'm guessing it's you think if anything, just 2, and then 2 boys for each room. But Mouth has his own, so yeah, I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe there's a one bed and then a bunk bed in the other room. I don't know.
Also, do you remember when Brooke would, be hungover and like Skills would like crawl in, remember when he crawled into bed?
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but like I wouldn't like that either because like, you're in a relationship now.
Mm-hmm.
You don't really know Skills like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, think about it, like him, like, because Mouth and Millie need their own space.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just walk into their bedroom the way you would with your
Mm-hmm.
friends.
Yeah.
Like, he could, I guess, walk in because it was like Brooke and Mouth, and they ain't doing nothing. But
Mm-hmm.
like, Mouth and Millie need their own time, even if they're just like making out. They still need their
Mm-hmm.
own time. Like,
Yeah, I think he knows that.
even if they're just like cuddling, it's like,
Mm-hmm.
no. Like, that's why I couldn't have, like, no, I'm good.
I mean, he did walk in on Miles and Alice, I think maybe once or twice. So yeah, maybe he could,
Exactly. So he doesn't know boundaries.
yeah, so Mouth would have to, get him straight on that. But
Yeah, because all he's like, good job, good work. And it's
mhm,
like, stay out.
yeah.
That's my thing, is they don't know boundaries. Like, if the roommates knew boundaries, okay, but these ones don't.
Hmm. And then Haley gives Brooke Jamie's old clip and some some other things. And then Haley is the one that brings up to Brooke about how difficult it would be getting the baby back up after the surgery and everything. And Brooke knows it won't be easy, but the baby needs help. And then that's when Nathan and Jamie walk in. And then Lucas right after, when Peyton brings Jamie's car seat into the living room.
That was funny.
Mm-hmm.
And they're like, surprise.
Yep. And then right after that, Peyton and Lucas go out, for a walk to talk.
Weird.
Mm-hmm.
Like, why?
Yeah.
Like, okay, I love it because I love Lucas and Peyton, but I'm like, why would these two go for a walk?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't they be trying to stay away from each other? If he's trying to
Yeah.
get Lindsay back and she is trying to let him be happy, why would you spend more time together?
Mm-hmm.
Even if it's for a walk. Like,
mm-hmm. And she's kind of the reason why that the wedding didn't, happen.
yes. Like we know it's not her fault, but all the feelings came back up when she came to town. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
why? Like, again, so if you want Lindsay back and she shows up to Tree Hill and you're hanging out with Peyton, how is that going to make Lindsay feel? Like, how are you going to get her
Mm-hmm.
back?
Yeah.
You're not. She's going to walk back into the same trap if you're hanging out with Peyton.
Mm-hmm.
Because one walk can turn into another one, and it can turn into a hangout, and
Mm-hmm.
it's not going well for Lucas and Lindsay.
Yeah. So Lucas is happy, for Peyton that she's making an album with Haley, and then that's when Peyton brings up that she wants to build that little studio in the space that she has there. And he says he'll talk to his mom, but he thinks it's a smart idea.
And then he says he doesn't blame Peyton for any of it,
which is good for her at least.
Yeah, and she was like, I just feel bad for you, for Lindsay, that she feels responsible. And I'm like, well, I mean, she's not totally to blame, but again, if she didn't come back, then obviously his feelings wouldn't be circulating like they did.
But she should be able to come back to her hometown without having to worry about her ex-boyfriend,
So. She should, but she did also kiss him a couple times.
Yeah, after that point, yeah, it was her fault too. But
yeah,
but Lucas is so certain of himself that Lindsay's gonna come back because she loves her.
He's so wishy-washy with his feelings.
Yeah, well, yeah, when he was like this with Brooke, wasn't he? Like, he wasn't giving up on her either, so it's kind of what he does.
Yeah.
Even after they've given up on him. And then Chase walks into Brooke's house, and is happy about her getting the baby and everything.
I just thought it was so random that Chase was there.
Yeah. Guess that's the only way they could see him, like, at the little exit there for a bit. Because
wasn't he like living out of town, so he was only coming back in town for a little bit. Remember, that's when Owen was like, hey, my roommate's in town,
I don't remember.
No, that's why he brought him as the double date, was because his friend was in town, which was Chase. Otherwise, Chase would have been here in town with the rest of the gang.
Yeah, because I thought, because he leaves to go to pilot school or whatever, right? For the Air Force or something.
I don't know. But I was just like, okay, so he's in town longer than a couple weeks because he wasn't at the wedding. So now he's coming back. It was just weird. Okay.
Yeah, because Well, maybe he didn't go to the wedding because he wasn't really friends with Lucas ever, so I get why he wasn't there. But yeah.
But I thought it was I still want to know what happened between Brooke and Chase.
Yeah.
Because they don't seem like they like hate each other, like it was bad. He even says, I just wanted to come see you. And I'm like, huh? Like, because they weren't really friends. She liked him right from the start, so they weren't really friends. You know what I mean? And so I'm like, so when he said that, I'm like, that doesn't seem like a friend thing of like, I wanted to come see you. It was like, this kind of seemed like more than that. But I still want to know what happened between these two.
Mm-hmm. And then he even said if she wants, needs someone to talk to or a husband. So yeah, definitely not a friend thing.
No, that's why I'm like, what happened? Because it's
Mm-hmm.
weird.
Yeah, especially because he's kind of there telling her that Owen wants his independence, and that's why he's not cool with the baby thing, and then kind of hits on her at the same time right after that. So yeah.
And here's my thing is like, obviously, if the couples are no longer, we're never going to see them again.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, we don't need to know what happened, even though I still want to know what happened, Bevan and Skills. I also, though, like, Chase comes back. So I want to know what happened. Like, if he never came back, it would be like, okay, whatever. But he came back. So I want to know what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and the fact that we never know bothers me.
Mm-hmm. And he tells her not to take the Owen stuff personally. She says she won't, but he says she will because he knows that's how she is. And so yeah, definitely not sounding like friend talk. And then Millie goes to see Mouth, and she's really nervous to talk to him. And Mouth mentions the last time someone was this nervous was when Skills walked in and thought he killed Chester. Too bad we didn't hear about more about that and what happened there. But he just turned out to be a really heavy sleeper. So I wonder if like Skills like walked into Jamie's bedroom or something and saw him laying like that and thought he was dead probably and freaked out. But Millie brings up how she freaked out when he asked her to move in with him, and there is a reason. Um, and Mouth thought it was too good to be true. But she just says that the reason is they can't sleep in the same bed. And he asks her if this is like the crying game, the movie, or like a Harry back, or she's just repulsed by him. And she just says that she needs a martini first, and he actually is able to make it right there and then. And then she takes some sips before she blurts out that she's a virgin. And that doesn't phase Moth at all. He just thinks like how, rare, lucky he is to find her.
Yeah, but then she's obviously worried because, his last hookup was that gross boss lady. It was hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes,
Yeah.
and so, you're clearly not. And it's like, yeah, he's not.
Mm-hmm.
But I was happy he didn't like get
Weird.
weird or grossed out or offended because some would. So,
Mm-hmm.
like
Yeah.
I've seen Married at First Sight, and
Mm-hmm.
like this one woman was a virgin, and the other husbands were like, I'm so glad you have her because like I couldn't deal with that. I'm like, what? Like that's
Mm-hmm.
so mean.
Yeah.
I'm like none of you are deserving of a wife.
Yeah. I've seen
So
like.
so I'm glad that Mouth took it that way instead of the
Mhm.
way these guys were on Married at First Sight.
Yeah. Yeah, because guys are really weird. They can either be okay with it or not okay. Like they want someone who's not experienced or someone that is experienced. They just, they can never be happy with whatever, the woman is and her, you know.
Yeah, it's like they want the woman to be experienced, but they also don't want you to have too many partners. But it's like,
Mhm.
oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, they don't want you really to have any, but they want you to have the experience. And it's like, oh my God. Like you
And
can't,
yet,
yeah, you can't have both. What?
and yet they can have all the experience.
Yeah.
Hmm.
If yeah, and all the women in the world. It's like, no.
Hmm. Yeah, so I was happy that he told Millie that he wasn't going to pressure her about sex. He just wants to be with her.
I
And they
know.
could even get two beds too.
I was like, that was a breath of fresh air to watch because again,
Hmm.
most people are not like that.
Hmm. Yeah, so Millie says if he thinks that this will work, then she'll move in, which was that good to hear. Because this is like officially the start of the relationship, at least for now. And then with the nanny interviews, Haley points out one knows CPR, and then was a lifeguard, which is good in case of Jamie falls into the pool again. And then she asks one woman if she's ever kissed any of the husbands she's worked for.
That's hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna lie, I loved when Haley was interviewing
Mm-hmm.
because obviously, if she felt that they were pretty, she was no.
Yep.
Like that one blonde right away. She goes, no.
Mm-hmm. And then she even got the one guy that was there to tell Nathan, that he knows he likes to watch, his nanny swim naked in the pool.
And then Nathan's like, I deserve that. But like, here's my thing is like maybe Haley should have also for her, interviews, maybe she should have also said, send me a picture, because then she could have narrowed it down and not had all these nannies come to interview. Right. Because then she could have went through the papers and said, too pretty, too pretty, too pretty.
Yeah.
And then she wouldn't waste their time or hers.
Mm-hmm.
And she wouldn't be saying no right away instead of like asking any questions. She would have saw the picture like of the blonde and said no. And it's like, okay, instead of saying it right to her face where she didn't even say a word, like that was pretty rude but funny.
Yeah. And then Lucas drops by at Brooke's because apparently she called him because she's freaking out about the baby, wondering if she made a mistake taking this on. But of course, Lucas says she's going to be fine. He was raised by a single mom, so he knows that, she just wants the best for the baby. And, if she didn't do this, then who would? And then Brooke mentions about Owen thinks she's being selfish because he thinks she just wants what she wants.
Okay, but my thing is they aren't even like together. So what does it matter again? She's not going to have the baby like for a lifetime. Yeah. So she's going to get the baby back pretty soon. So deal with it, Owen. She's not having a kid. Like, plus I do think she's being selfless by doing this. Like, she's helping a baby and a family that can't come here, like can't, take off from work and stuff and come here to take care of the baby. So I think she's doing a very nice thing. Also, it would be extremely hard to give up the baby after bonding. So I think she's doing an amazing, job and offer. So I don't like that he is calling her selfish for it. Selfish is him. Like wanting her to not have this experience. What?
Yeah, so Lucas tells her, it's good that she's a little scared, but she's going to do great.
Also, don't you think that her having this baby will determine for her if she really wants kids or not? Because you can say all day long if you want kids until maybe you're around one, and then you're like, you either say yes or no, this is for me. And that could be the same thing with Brooke. If she has this baby and she's like, it's too much work, I'm not ready, this will be the determining factor if she is ready and wants kids, which then would help Owen in his decision. You know what I mean? Like if she says after this, it's too much work, I don't have time, all this, then Owen will be like, cool, we can be together and help the relationship. Instead, he's like, no, you're being selfish. No, let her do this. Plus, again, you're not in a long-term relationship. You're not engaged. You're not married where you would have to talk about this. So go away. Just seriously.
Yeah, and I feel like this shouldn't be a big surprise for Owen anyhow because he's seen how she is with Jamie and that bond that she has.
Yeah, she loves kids.
And then, so we never saw Brooke have this purple monkey before, right?
No, not that I saw.
Because apparently Lucas knows what she's talking about because he sees it and he's like, oh, like the one you had.
I can't remember.
Yeah, because if anything, you think Payne would be the one, like, oh, that's the one you used to have when we were little, something like that. But
yeah, but I don't. But I actually was thinking about this, that Brooke always went to Peyton's house. Peyton never went to Brooke's house.
Yeah, well, maybe if Brooke like brought it over with her when they were little, like for a sleepover or something,
So that's why I'm kind of thinking maybe she doesn't know a whole ton of like what happened at the Davis house because she was never there. She was
Right.
Peyton always had Brooke over, so
Yeah. And then, Lucas just says that because, Brooke's just terrified of doing something wrong, but Lucas tells her that, the baby's going to love her, the girl who gave the stuffed animal to her. And then Haley's still looking through the resumes when Nathan walks up, seeing Jamie's asleep.
so
And
I liked I liked that he said, I'm sorry you couldn't find a nanny that you could trust around me. I was happy. I was happy that he said it because it is his fault why she can't find a nanny. Also, she goes too soon. I'm like, yeah, I don't think you should ever say it. Like, I don't think you should ever like joke about it. It's not really something to joke about.
Yeah.
Like, would he really want her to joke about seeing Chris Keller again?
Right.
Like that kind of thing of like some things you should just keep as never talk about again.
And
but I did like that that she said that she just wants Jamie all to herself. But because that was the whole thing from the start was like, but she does go on it though to say like she wants her job and music and everything. And what I liked though is when he said that he'll go through the applications or whatever and he'll find a clean nanny. I was like, oh my god. But did you hear though with references something Nanny Carey didn't have?
Right. Yeah.
So at least they're being more precautious into this because they should have been from the start.
Yeah. So Haley says she thought that he might want to get a workout in instead, and about the therapist saying that they should focus on the things that they love, and she thinks she's right. Nathan thinks he's gonna probably suck because it's been a while, but she says that he has to find out sometime.
Yeah, and then he tells her thanks for everything, which was nice because again he needs to start saying nice things.
And then this is when Q, goes after another one of his coaches because he's also there that late at night.
Yeah, he's like, "What are you trying to do? Make a comeback and everything?" I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah, just keep talking trash and messing with him, and then he tripped him. He could have hurt Nathan or himself, by doing that. And Nathan was just trying to be nice to him, like saying that he can still have a chance to do well, even if he goes to junior college like he did. And then Q says, "Of course, look where I got you." So just all that.
But here's my thing: is where it got Nathan was to the NBA. Nathan, he would have. He was getting drafted. It was Nathan. It was Nathan's choice to get into a fight. So again, for Q to say, "Look where it got you," I would have been like, "Yeah, if I didn't get into a fight, I would have been in the NBA."
Yeah, because Q's always already looking for fights too, already himself, at least verbally.
But why is nobody really ever telling the truth? Like Nathan would be in the NBA right now if it wasn't because he got into a fight. It wasn't because he wasn't good enough. It was because he got into a fight. And again, it wasn't that he just got into a fight. He got into a fight that left him an injury. If he would have just gotten into a fight where he had no injuries, he probably still would have been drafted. But because he had an injury with it, clearly, that's why he wasn't. And I wish people would just tell you the truth, whether it's Skills, Lucas, Nathan. Tell him the truth. Tell him he won't get a scholarship if he's not good enough. So he needs to lay low on his injury. That Nathan would have been in the end. Like, tell him, because I'm tired of I'm tired of them not saying anything to Q, just letting Q just go off on his little rants about them. I'm like, tell him the truth. Like, I'm sorry, protect yourself, Nathan. You love to argue back with people, so tell Q. If it wasn't like I was good enough, I was like you, stupid, wanted to fight, and it got me where I am now. It's like, but tell him the truth. You were there.
Yeah.
If you would have just waited one night,
Yeah,
you would have been drafted.
Yeah, too bad Whitey just couldn't come back for a quick second and tell Q what's going on. Yeah.
But Nathan should be able to say it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Nathan loves to argue with people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Say it. I don't get why no one in this episode wants to say the truth to Q.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, instead Nathan just tells Q that he has a big mouth and walks out of the gym. And then later on, Deanna's looking at the spot on the wall in the gym where his jersey used to be.
And
then
Nathan's
Nathan-
coming into the gym?
Yeah,
I thought Nathan left.
Yeah, he did. So I don't know how long this was later. Maybe he came back to see if he could like get his workout in with Q gone. But then Dan's there, so he's like, oh boy.
I mean, maybe he went into the weight room
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
and then waited till Q was gone and then he
Mhm.
came out. I don't know.
Yeah, could have been.
Yeah, and then Dan's like, "Oh, you thinking about playing again?" And he goes, "No, I'm not." Like, he's an
Yeah,
ass.
he got mad really fast, yeah.
I'm not thinking about it. I'm like, "Oh
Mhm.
my god."
Yeah, and he's yelling like he can't even make a free throw. Yeah.
It was so funny. I was like, "Nathan, calm down. Like, you're still mad at Q, so calm down."
Yeah. Yeah, so Dan tells him, at least his legacy is safe. He should just do his best. Unlike some of them, he has nothing to be ashamed of. And then I'm wondering how Dan got to school too, because he shouldn't have been able to get access in the doors. But
How is it all these people just come and go in the school? Like, the school's never locked.
Yeah, after hours, yeah.
It's weird. The school is never locked.
Mm-hmm. Yep, even after the shooting, yeah. And then at the guy's apartment, Mel, asks Skills if he had a second to talk, and Skills is still mad about Q. So, but then Mouse says Millicent is moving in, and Skills says that's fine with him. It's about time they classed it up. And Mouse says, if they could actually do that, and Skills realizes Mouse means about the sex talk and the foul language. And he tells Mouse, good luck with that. But Mouse says everybody doesn't need to be a saint, Millicent's a girl though, and she's his girl. So, Skills says he'll talk to other guys, and then he asks Mouth if
if she would walk around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically in her underwear. Mouth says no.
I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, so again, that's why I wouldn't feel comfortable with other men that, are not my boyfriend there. Yeah.
Well, and you would think that Mouth would be like, maybe we should just go get our own place because they can go get a 1-bedroom that's probably cheaper. So instead of a 4-bedroom.
Yeah.
So
or 3,
also, if they're not, so are they sharing in the same room?
Yeah.
Oh, because I was gonna say now they got a 5-bedroom. Like, where would she be staying?
No. Yeah. That's why Mouse said they could even get 2 beds for his room. Yeah.
So I don't think that room is big enough for that, but okay.
I mean, if they got 2 little small beds, yeah.
Yeah, but all their stuff together?
They'll have to make it work, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, oh my god, though. Like, I wouldn't, like, if my friends were doing that, like, they wouldn't like grow up. I'd be like, yeah, we gotta find our own place because I wouldn't want, my significant other to feel like that, like it's not their place.
Yeah.
So we'd have to get. So I'm just like, Mouth, like you should want her to feel safe. So maybe you should get your own place.
Yep. So at the house, Jamie's coloring. Haley's playing the guitar, and she tells Nathan she's going to record an album with Putin. And Nathan thinks that's great, of course. And he asks, she asks how did his workout go, and he says not so good.
I think that he brought her wine.
Yeah.
It was nice, like after a long day. Exactly. Bring her wine because apparently he needed it too.
Yeah. But he says whatever happens, they're going to be fine. So, they can agree on that. And then that's when Deb walks in.
Yes. And it was funny. It was weird because when she says hello, he goes, who's that? I'm like, you don't know your mother's voice? Also, Jamie goes, it's the new nanny.
Yeah.
And it's Deb.
And
I'm like, here she is. Sheesh.
Yep. It's going to be the safest bet that Haley can, rely on.
Because, I mean, think about it. We've seen Dan, we've seen Karen, Andy.
Yeah.
It's about time in season 5 we get Deb.
Yeah, and Deb apparently doesn't want to be called grandma. She's too young. So Nanny Deb is what she wants to be called, which is kind of weird for your own nephew. I'm not your nephew, grandson, but yeah.
And I was like, huh? I mean, at least give you a different name besides Grandma Deb or Granny Deb. There's other names to be called besides Nanny.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I feel like Nanny kind of rubs up wrong way after Nanny Carey.
Yeah. And then Dan is narrating toward the end here. And, Jamie's playing with Deb and Haley while Nathan watches in the doorway. Q is feeling pain in his hand. And then Lucas and Skills are drinking that trick where Lucas tells Skills that he did the right thing. And one of these days, Q is going to realize that. And they just have to figure out a way to win without him. And then Payne is standing behind them, thinking about talking to Lucas, but then keeps walking. And then Millie gets to mouth with her things, and then Payne is at the house telling Brooke she has to get to the airport to pick up the baby, or they have to get to the airport to pick up the baby.
But she wants to do it alone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And then, so she's at the airport waiting for a little bit when the woman walks up with the baby and hands her over to Brooke. And so Dan just narrates the rest,
Yep, and Brooke gets her baby. Well, her foster baby.
Yeah.
So for me, the high was I love seeing Nathan, Haley, and Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
I love when they're happy. It's always fun scenes with them. Also my high was the end when Brooke gets to hold the baby because she really wants one, even though she doesn't get to keep her. And it is also sad in the scene because she doesn't realize how much it's going to hurt to give her up.
Right.
And so that's why she should be telling herself she has to give her up. But anyway, I did like it, her holding her, even though there should have been more formal things besides at the airport. Here you go. Here's her stuff and walk away.
Yeah.
But okay. And then my low was how Q was acting towards everybody. I didn't like it. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't like Q's behavior either. And then I did like when Haley finally figured out the best person to trust Jamie with is Nathan's mom. So they don't have to worry about any nanny Carey history repeating. So then rating?
I would rate this at 8.
Yeah, me too.
And then your best and worst?
The best is Mouth, just because, he gave up that position that was really good for him because he wants to be with Millie. And he, made it work with the moving in situation, understood Millie's reasoning for not wanting to move in at first. And, getting things straightened out with Skills and the rest of the guys. So, Millie can feel more comfortable there. And then the worst, of course, was Q because he was just telling everybody off and he really didn't need to, and he wasn't in a position to. Because he really, after talking to Skills, he should have been just cut at that point, I think. But,
Yeah, those are mine too. Q, worst, best was Mouth, because also I liked how, again, most guys would have taken it, in a bad way.
Yeah, or a weird way, yeah.
And may have also broken up with her.
Yeah.
But instead, Mouth was very nice and exactly how you would want that person to feel.
Yeah, consider understanding, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I was happy that it wasn't just like, yeah, move in and not think of what she might be feeling. Instead, he took it the next step and actually talked to Skills, because it was like, I want her to feel comfortable, which again, how many guys would feel that way? Instead of be like, move in, it's like, okay, but we need ground rules, where Mouth is already taking that step of there needs to be boundaries. So I was happy about that.
Yeah.
He's actually thinking of others, which he's always done. But remember, he did have a little, rocky start to season 5, but he's doing much better. And he'll save Millie some money.
Yeah, definitely.
And then what's next episode?
Episode 15, Life is Short.
All right. All right. Thanks for listening.
Yep, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Duo Chat. If you want to chime in with your opinion about the episode and the show we discussed, you can email us at duochatpodcast@gmail.com. And to keep up with updates about the podcast, you can follow us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube at Duo Chat Podcast. And give us a review wherever you listen to podcasts. We would appreciate it.